How do JavaScript developers optimize object access performance? Imagine trying to find your keys in a cluttered drawer versus a neatly organized one. The same idea applies to how JavaScript engines handle objects. When you write code that accesses object data efficiently, your programs run faster. Let's look at how developers make that happen. First, JavaScript engines like VA do not treat objects as simple key-value stores. Instead, they create hidden classes, also called shapes, to representing an object structure. This means if your objects share the same shape, property access becomes quick and smooth. To do this, developers create objects with all the properties they need upfront, in the same order. This way, the engine can reuse the same hidden class, speeding up property lookups. Avoid changing the structure of objects after they are created. Adding or removing properties dynamically can cause the engine to switch to slower lookup methods called dictionary mode. Keeping objects stable helps the engine stay in optimized mode. Also, accessing properties in a predictable pattern helps the engine apply inline caches. These caches store information about property locations, making repeated access faster. Minimizing prototype chain lookups is another key. When you access a property directly on an object, it is faster than going up the prototype chain to find it. Developers often flatten object structures or avoid deep inheritance chains in performance-critical parts of their code. Storing references to object properties in local variables inside loops reduces repeated lookups, saving time during execution. Object pooling is also useful. Instead of creating new objects all the time, developers reuse existing ones. This reduces the workload on the garbage collector, which can slow down your program if it has to clean up many unused objects. Profiling tools help identify slow access patterns, so developers can refactor code to improve speed. For example, if you need to access the same property many times, store that property in a local variable before the loop. This way, the engine doesn't have to look up the property every time. Also, creating objects with all necessary properties at once, rather than adding properties later, keeps the object structure consistent. Using these practices, JavaScript engines can apply hidden class optimizations and inline caching more effectively. This can make property access up to 4 times faster compared to poorly written code. As a result, your applications become more responsive and efficient. In short, optimizing object access performance is about writing code that aligns with how JavaScript engines internally manage objects. By creating stable objects, accessing properties predictably, and reusing objects when possible, you help the engine do its job better. This leads to faster property lookups and smoother overall performance in your web applications.